Hello, everybody. Welcome to our webinar with our colleagues from VTEX. I would like to take this opportunity to thank the organizers for letting us do a webinar during this Central Asia Trade Forum week. I would also like to thank government representatives from all the Central Asian countries who are participating. We appreciate your participation. Some housekeeping tips. This event is being recorded and you can check it out afterwards on the forum website or a YouTube channel as well in English and in Russian. All the participants are muted, so please use the Q&A and chat box for any questions that I will be asking Pablo. There's a simultaneous interpretation. It's on the bottom. There's a globe sign, and you can choose English or Russian. And also, if you have any tech issues, please write it in the chat box, and we can try to fix it. So today, if you were in the previous e-commerce session, we have our friend Pablo. He will be based in Singapore, representing VTEX for Asia, but he's calling from Peru now. So thank you for your time, Pablo. VTEX is a multinational company that's in over 30 countries, expanding rapidly in Europe and Asia, and does work with giants like Walmart, Carrefour, Coca-Cola, Motorola, and many, many others. So not to lose any time, we would like to get Pablo to speak to us about the company and the opportunities for Central Asia. And then we have Q&A session to ask him all the difficult questions that he needs to answer. Thank you, Pablo. Go ahead.
Thank you, Philip. How are you, everyone? Thank you very much for being here this evening and taking the time to talk to us and participate in today's webinar. Today, I would like to talk about the boom of e-commerce, and specifically geared towards what's been happening in the world in the past couple months, which I think gives a better exaggerated perspective of the current situation the past couple years. Before I begin, I would like to introduce myself. My name is Pablo Cheleon Sarmiento. I'm head of customer success in Asia for VTEX. You can find my email at pablo@vtex.com in case you would like to reach out afterwards. I'm Peruvian. I have an MBA degree from CIBS and also an exchange at TSN. I'm a VTEX lover. I'm passionate about e-commerce, B2B, B2C marketplaces. I'm very focused on helping enterprises navigate through the digital transformation. And in my own personal time, I love cycling, reading nonfiction, traveling and discovering new cultures. I look forward to actually being in next year's session there with you face to face. So in today's agenda, I have three main topics, and I would like to cover first the e-commerce growth we have experienced in the last couple months. The expectations, some of them, to your surprise, not new from the consumers, and which tools are currently available for you to win in this new reality. So I'd like to begin with a quote, and it's the speed of a bullet that travels from a gun that will determine the damage over an object. So if I throw a bullet, probably it will not cause a lot of damage. But if it comes out from a gun, at the speed it travels, it will probably cause a lot of damage. So the speed was COVID, the bullet is the new consumer behavior, and the objects were retailers. And I'm gonna leave you with this reflection. What has happened in the world, at the speed it has happened, it has damaged a lot of retailers. Most of the retailers were not ready to react at the new consumer behavior. Most of the retailers did not have the processes, the infrastructure to be able to handle the spike of demand from the consumers. And this has caused that during COVID, those few that were actually ready capitalized and monetized as much as possible, but those that were not, probably right now, they're thinking about new business models, new business ways of doing their operations because they're just not ready to handle this new reality. So as a context, I like to share with you this graph, and it's the effect of the in e-commerce during the lockdown, in both in the U.S. and in the U.K. E-commerce market share increased from 20% to 30% in the United Kingdom, while in the US, it increased from 17 to 22%. The red line, the darker red line is the UK, and the slighter red line is the US. And you can see the trend was increasing, but during this period of time, during 2020, it has increased exponentially. So by some counts, the e-commerce growth, the e-commerce penetration in the US has been of the last 10 years in just 3 months during the second quarter of 2020. Let me repeat this again because it's a lot of growth. In the last 10 years, the growth we have experienced in the last 10 years, we've experienced it in the second quarter of this year. By some other counts, during this period, the second quarter, the US experienced the growth of the last 5 years. E-commerce sales grew 32% in the US. So if this is in a mature market, as in the US, you can just imagine how much growth there has been in this specific region, in Central Asia. How much growth there has been just from night to day. And how has retailers reacted, and what is the actual consumer behavior we are experiencing right now. E-commerce sales in the UK has continued to rise despite the lift of restrictions. So this makes us reflect again. This growth was not caused only by COVID, lockdowns, restrictions, but maybe means that a new consumer behavior or existing one has been reinforced, strengthened, and now this new normal will be the normal forever. It's online, it's digital, it's mobile, it's e-commerce. And how do we adapt ourselves to this new reality? So let's talk about consumer behavior. And some of the characteristics during COVID has been loyalty, and probably in your personal experience as well. You haven't been very loyal to brands. Yes, let's not kid ourselves. We probably before we were purchasing from 1 or 2 brands, but now we're open to as many brands as possible, as many e-commerce sites, as many marketplaces as possible. So let's try to understand why this has been. Consumer loyalty during lockdown, at least 40% of the consumers tried new brands or new businesses. The reasons are many, but the main reasons were products were not available in your inventory. This is what I was mentioning just in the previous round of panelists. Products did not have inventory, did not have stocks. Prices. Consumers started looking for better prices, better value. And also, some consumers in some geographies were very concerned how retailers were responding during the lockdowns, if they had empathy for this situation, if they were supporting their employees, if they were supporting the elderly or the population in higher risk. How were consumers responding as well? So you can see in the US, 51% of the consumers were looking for lower brands, 46% were looking for better price value, and 27% was looking for support in their employees. And this is consistent across the US, in the United Kingdom, in France, and in Germany. Another aspect of the consumer behavior was that consumers were had increased their expectations while navigating. Yes, well, you are in your desktop, in your mobile, in your tablet, the expectations from consumers increased. So now you cannot go into a physical store. you cannot interact with a sales representative. So consumers actually need more information now. They need information about the product description, about the attributes of the products, the availability of their stock. They need more touch points of data, of information, and we should be able to provide this now. So that's one of the first actionable points we can take from today. Start engaging with consumers and giving them more information about your products, better photographs, better content, better information about what you are selling. Store performance, and this is very important. During lockdown, a lot of consumers had higher levels of anxiety. So you want your store to be fast. You want your store to load photographs, content quick. There is, yes, need of higher infrastructure development, higher internet speeds, but that's not an excuse. There are technologies, and specifically in VTEX, that we enable you to upload your content in a quicker way, not waiting for 1 minute to see a photograph, for instance. Also, because consumers were trying new brands, new retailers, they wanted reviews, product reviews. The consumers were more interested in finding sources of information from their community. So now you can see micro influencers. Now you can see blogs, blog posts, social media being a source of information for consumers to actually being able to find new products or availability of these products. So many of you probably have been buying through messaging apps. Many of you have been buying through social media and making cash payments, or maybe even paying through electronic methods. So this is the response of what's been happening. Not finding the stock, maybe a bad customer experience, now your product not being delivered. So now you need to understand which are those brands that actually deliver the best experience. So these features are not features that consumers were not asking before. Yes, let's make this clear. This is not something new. This is not something that we did not know about before. But these features now has become more important, more prevalent, and more, let's say, it determines who will be successful and who will not be successful in the next coming months. So this is while browsing on the internet. Let's talk about the whole purchase process. And here's something that doesn't come into my mind, is that the purchasing process, the customer journey, does not end when the customer pays with their credit card, debit card, or cash. It's not over yet. It ends when the product is delivered. It ends when the consumer is happy with what she or he bought online. So we have to think about logistics. And logistics can determine if you will have loyal customers, if you will have happy customers, or if your business would just probably not be successful in this new future. So what are consumers asking for? In some geographies, let's take the US for instance, they're asking for free delivery or free return of products. So consumers are not going on the physical stores, they're actually buying online. Probably they're buying a shirt. Let's go back to the shirt example. And they see that the size that's not fit. If you provide free return of products, probably you have a more loyal consumer. If you provide free delivery, and let's make a double click in free delivery. Free delivery after $100, $200, $300 maybe, or after a minimum quantity. So not free delivery for any product, just nudge the consumer. So she or he buys a minimum amount of products, so you can enable free delivery. Another aspect of loyalty and what consumers are asking for is fast delivery. So they cannot go to the physical stores. They cannot go out of their homes. They find e-commerce now as a very convenient channel. So if you provide them fast delivery, 1-2 days delivery, or maybe even less, you can actually engage better with your consumer. More often than not, we buy online and we receive a product after 2, 3, 4 weeks, and that's too much time. That's way too much. And in a omni-channel market, you cannot compete with physical stores. Once the COVID goes away, once the lockdowns are lifted, physical channels, physical stores will have an advantage on fast immediacy. If I go to the store, I can leave the store with my product. So we need to compete with the immediacy in online. So enabling faster ways of consumers to have their products as soon as possible. So the purchase process includes even when the consumer receives or returns the product. The focus on optimizing logistics is now more important, and this can be determined through the success of your business. So just to see what's going on in the world right now, what has Amazon been doing in the past couple months? Have they been expanding the warehouses? Have they been giving more promotions? Well, they've done all of that, but specifically, they've increased their delivery stations. So delivery stations are not warehouses, are not fulfillment centers. They are just a small micro fulfillment hubs closer to the consumer in a 4 to 5 kilometer radius that allows them to be closer to the consumer in a 30, 40 minutes radius. And it has increased over 71% in this year only. So Amazon already is trying to get closer. It's in an online store, but it's going physical, it's going offline, and it's getting closer, not only by having more fulfillment centers, which is growing, having their own transportation solution, but also having these micro fulfillment hubs. Now, I was just talking with Philip before the webinar. This is a great opportunity for innovation. You don't have to be Amazon. You don't have to be Alibaba, but you can create these solutions locally and start collaborating with other retailers, with the other partners in the ecosystem, and start giving these solutions to everyone in order for everyone to benefit from the growth of e-commerce. So what are the tools that we have available to compete in this new reality? And here's when we start talking about VTEX. VTEX, what is VTEX? VTEX is the best of multiple worlds, but specifically, it's a tailor-made solution. It's a scalable, tailor-made solution. VTEX is a commerce cloud provider that speeds and simplifies your time to revenue and allows you to have flexibility and deliver tailor-made experiences to your business, to your consumer. So we take about the best of two worlds. It's the scale. We are traditional as a SaaS company, but we offer customizations and depth in features, but also we combined how you can scale and customize in one single solution. So in VTEX, you will have time to revenue. You can go to the market using our technology very quick way and a scalable way. We're talking about deployments that takes a couple weeks and sometimes some months, but you can go and start having interactions with your consumers in a very short period of time. Compare that compared to if you were building your own platform, if you were buying other free quote unquote solutions, you will be able to go to market very fast in a very low total cost of ownership. And this is important. There are no hidden costs in VTEX. We don't believe in cheating our clients. We want to be transparent, open, making sure you receive the best cost, the lowest cost always. And this is through our scalable infrastructure. So because we are in the cloud, we use Amazon Web Services. We have all the infrastructure you need. We don't charge you for that infrastructure. We cover your demand in every spike that you might have. If it's a Double 11, if it's a Black Friday, Mother's Day, Father's Day, any promotional season, we cover that demand for you as part of our promise service. And also we enable you to be flexible and customizable. And this is because we have open APIs. So we can connect with any system that you're currently using. We can also provide out-of-the-box solutions that can be combined with your personalization and make it a tailor-made platform for you. So we want each retailer to stop wasting time in developing their own platforms and maintaining their own technologies. And that's time and money that's not well used. We want you to focus on the strategies in the commercial side in growing your business. We take care of the platform and the technology that your business uses. But this partner, this strategic alliance that you're making with VTEX will allow you to scale and to expand your business in your country, in your region, and in the globe. So what do we do? What do we offer? We make any enterprise, a B2C, B2C, a B2B, to have their own website and their own store. We also, because of our infrastructure, we enable you to connect with other marketplaces, and we also allow you to be a marketplace. So you can be your own Amazon, you can be your own Alibaba. You can have multiple sellers, multiple vendors, suppliers selling their products in your website. We have the infrastructure already built for you to enable multiple sellers offering their multiple products. You might not even own these products, and you can enable these entrepreneurs, new businesses coming out, to have a channel, to have a way to interact and sell the products to the consumers. And also, we have an OMS. So our order management system allows you to be a full omni-channel solution. We can digitalize your warehouses, where your inventories, your docking points, your last mile logistics for each physical store that you have, each warehouse that you have. It work along with other logistics companies, work with payment providers. You can create the standard in which everyone can collaborate. And this was based on the conversations we had just a couple minutes ago in the panel discussion. By having one single standard, everyone will be using the same technology, the same platform, and everyone will be able to benefit if it's giving payment providers, logistics, digital marketing, implementation agencies, independent software providers. Anyone can be participant of this new reality. And this is thanks to VTEX orchestration. So what we do is we connect any channel. It can be physical, online, any channel, in any device, in our platform, in VTEX, which you own the content, you own the information, you own the data. And in this platform, you can manage your banners, your promotions, your UX, your look and feel. You can manage. You are independent. We do not manage this. You can make your own decisions, so you can have a very unique experience for your consumer. Then you can connect with your logistics fulfillment partners. You can have your own logistics. You can use third parties. You can use your own warehouses, or you can use a third warehouse. Also, you can manage your own promotions, your own merchandising. You can have pricing, promotion, catalogs. You have that control using our different modules in VTEX. You can use our already pre-integrated payment providers. So if you want to use PayPal, you can use it. It's already existing in VTEX. You don't need to integrate PayPal. If you want to use a MasterCard, you can use MasterCard. It's already integrated in VTEX. If you want to use a specific payment provider, you can already use it because we already have made these integrations with each of the main payment providers in each country. And also because you own the data, you will be able to understand the new consumer behavior. Independent on the channel she or he connects, you will have the data and be able to have a better understanding of their behavior. Now, on the right hand, in sources, you can connect your warehouses, your physical stores, your logistics last mile carriers, your ERPs, PIMs, multiple sellers as a marketplace. you can integrate with any existing software provider that you currently use. And this is so beneficial because what VTEX actually does is gives you the functionalities for any commerce to work, but also we adapt our software, our technology to your business. We do not ask the business to adapt to VTEX. We basically adapt to you. So every customer has a very unique solution. Also, we give our patented technology. As you can see in this video, these checkout, it's very easy. This is a store with from Apple distributor. In just a couple clicks, by having no creation of any user, just entering the email address, I can do the checkout in a couple seconds. Because information is already encrypted thanks to our PCI compliance certificate, our different security layers. This information cannot be stolen or reused. But as a consumer, I just enter my credit card, the option of my credit card, my CVV code, and in 35 seconds, I already made a purchase. This is so simple, so easy. You're giving your consumer a better, easier, faster way of selling your products. And consumers, by not being distracted with pop-ups or redirections of different URLs, can actually make the payment and finalize the purchase, which is very convenient for you as well. We want to deliver the best solution for both retailers and the end consumer. And part of the experience is search. So during the panel discussion, we were talking about how can I find the shirt that I'm using? Probably it's somewhere around the warehouses, but maybe I don't know if I have as a retailer enough stock. So VTEX Search is powered by artificial intelligence, and this enables any consumer to find exactly what they're looking. It detects spelling errors, which is good if you're selling, for instance, personal care products. If you're selling perfumes, sometimes you don't know how to spell a brand, and that's okay because our software detects these spelling errors. Also, you have control over what are the results that you're showing to your end consumer. And this has a double usage as well. Because you have control over what's being shown to the end consumer, you can monetize the results. You can also show the products that have higher margin initially, or show the products that have higher inventory levels as initial results. And those products with lower margins or just not enough stock, you can show them in the second or third page of the results. You can improve the ease of navigating as search with the search as you type experience. So I'm looking for a water bottle, and I can already see the results popping up. And this increases much better because it's not only a text experience, but it's also a text graphic experience. If I see the product that I actually want, I just click it, add it to my cart, and go out for the checkout. This is so convenient for the conversion rate of your e-commerce site. And as you can see right now, we're looking into mobile. So VTEX can be mobile app as well. We have progressive web apps, PWA, and you can convert any experience in VTEX into a device, either if it's a tablet or a mobile. And this will reduce your time to revenue as a consequence. And also improve your ROI because you will not need to create a mobile application by a separate technology or a separate platform. It already renderizes to any device that your consumers connect to. You can make results controllable, and this is so important. You can use the data of specific products, attributes, use the most relevant words, and show the results by their inventories, how many clicks these products have had. You can use your own ranking rules. You can create association by search terms and conditions. You can actually have now more data on what is the consumer's behavior in your site and be able to show the products in much better way. And because I know which terms now consumers are looking for, are using more often, and which terms are actually leading for conversion rates, I can start optimizing my own website as if it was a Google search site. And because VTEX Search uses our catalog attributes, you can use any of the existing product attributes in a faceted search solution. So for instance, if I know the sizes, if I know the colors, if I know the materials, if I know the specific attributes of any of the products, I can make these attributes searchable. And in this way, I can find better my products. And not to mention, this improves substantially your SEO. And this is something very important. VTEX has a very comprehensive approach on SEOs. We want every single SKU, every single product to be optimized for the SEO. So we have hidden fields that are only detected by the web browsers, by the crawlers that they have online. And it allows your products and services to be better positioned in the results. This is a success case that we have in Latin America. Just by using our search solution, they were able to increase 20% their revenue. And most of their sessions, 30% of their sessions are based on search. So VTEX, as a SaaS company, is constantly evolving, constantly thinking how e-commerce looks in 5, 10, 15 years from now. And we constantly create these new functionalities with no added cost for our customers, because we're constantly evolving the same version for everyone. All of our customers have the same version. So we always making it better. Imagine having a company that's thinking already in the innovation of e-commerce and not having your team being distracted from selling products, groceries, electronics. We take in charge of the evolution of e-commerce, and we make your e-commerce constantly better and better and better. So it might be a time in which we see that e-commerce will be just driven by voice assistants and maybe a search bar. And we are already creating these capabilities in our R&D team for you not to be thinking about this, but just using it and selling more through your e-commerce. Another aspect, and this is something that I was talking to a company yesterday about logistics. How can we make logistics better? And this is through VTEX tracking. We want each retailer to have a competitive advantage through logistics. And this is how we're gonna transform logistics in every region that we operate in. So we want consumers to have visibility of where the package is, to interact with the last mile, to give the last mile a better route for delivery, and to have flexibility in these last, because we were just talking about the customer experience also involves the delivery of the package, yes? And more often, we're forgetting how important this is. So for instance, if I'm having a box being shipped to my home today, and I'm not available right now, yes, because I'm talking to you, I don't want the box arriving right now. So I can use VTEX tracking and tell the last mile delivery company, please do not arrive right now. I'm not available. Can you please arrive later? And have an online conversation with the last mile delivery. And because of this, the VTEX tracking will reroute the delivery, the last mile company, so they can arrive at my home when I'm already available, and I can open the door for them. This is what we're looking for. So in VTEX tracking, you have a list of the deliveries in the transporter app. This is what the last mile company will see. I have one that's Francisca Jr., the first person I go to, the address, the number of the order. I have the second delivery route I'll make is to Giovanni Jr. I already know where that person lives, their phone number, their ID number. Also, you have the delivery details. So you can make sure you eliminate any delivery, any misdelivery, or with reliable information. I can take photos in the app and just show, yes, the person was not home. or there was no place to put the box in the address. Also, once I deliver the parcel, I can take a photo to assure reception by recording the voucher by photograph and guaranteeing the transporter going to the premise. I can have control over the last mile. So the transporter can say, yes, she or he was in the address, but maybe that was not really what happened. So you can ask them to upload a photo just to prove they were there. You can scan barcodes to make sure the each milestone or each point of the delivery was made. You can ask for digital signatures now. You can have a chat. Start the route with real-time information for the customer. You can have a chat, and I can receive an SMS message saying my parcel is coming to my home with an estimate time of arrival. I can have historical and also rescheduling options. I can see the historic data for my parcel, and I can also reschedule the time I want my parcel to be delivered at home. Route in real time. And this is so important because sometimes in some geographies, traffic is not the best in the city. So we can see that the parcel is out for delivery, but we don't have a real estimate of when will it be arriving. But because of real-time routing, we will have a better estimate and be able to see exactly where she or he is with the package. Delivery security. This is so important. You can make the carrier information, transportation deliveries available to the customer. In case there is a need to contact the last mile company, you will have the information of who was handling your package. And faster feedback. You want good feedback. You need the feedback. You need to give the consumer some space for she or he to actually give back feedback and allow you to improve. So we also have this functionality. Now, what does this all mean? I have a couple more slides before I finish and receive your questions, is that through the logistics, you manage and control eventualities and have better management over your operations. You want better management. You don't want to receive complaints or comments from your consumers and not knowing what's happening in your operation. You can use this online and offline. And this works with the transporter cell phone. And if you work offline, you will not be also losing any type of information or data you might need. You will know by virtually near, you will know when is the arrival or departure times of each of your parcels. You'll receive alerts that will allow you to control delivery delays, routes, and download times. Integration, and this is so important because VTEX architecture is based on open APIs. You can consume the service through our APIs and enable this to be working alongside with any of your existing softwares as well. You will have a full delivery list, messaging. This is such a groundbreaker. You'll be able to message anyone involved in the handling of your package, and also have the battery. You will have information if the transporter is online or off due to battery issues. So what is the effect on VTEX tracking? And in handling better your logistics is that you reduce 15% of the returns in your logistics, and you increase 10% of your NPS. And this is substantial. You get customer loyalty and you compete as a competitive advantage through logistics, not only through best prices or availability or in all the different variables we were seeing before. It's through logistics. And it's so paramount that now that we see Central Asia expanding and developing, the growth of e-commerce itself, at the end of the day, is logistics. It's how you handle your warehouses, your last mile, your inventories, your stock. It's how you get people, professionals from logistics involved in e-commerce. We have a success case. Carrefour is one of our customers. They have an NPS of 4.7 through thanks to VTEX tracking, and overall, more than 75% of their stars or of their feedback are 5 stars. And we're talking about at the beginning about the consumer behavior. Consumers want products, close, fast. They want free shipping. They want to be able to return the products better. And if you focus again on how VTEX tracking can transform your retail, then you will have a groundbreaking retailer in your region or country. So I want to thank you again for your time and interest. This is my email, pablo@vtex.com. And I'm very looking forward to having conversations with you in the very short future, in case you would like to better understand VTEX, or if you would like to have a conversation about how we can help expand your business in the digital space. Thank you.
Thanks, Pablo. Excellent presentation. We do have a couple of questions.
Thanks, Pablo.
Already. So I'll just go down the line and you can answer them one by one, and we'll take it from there. Hopefully we'll have more. So the first one is, what are the prices for the market solution? Where can we see a demo? So if you can talk about the business model, costs, and how you work with the customers, please.
Thank you for the question. Our prices are public. You can find them in vtex.com. And our pricing model is based on the size of the GMV. However, you have now my contact. We can discuss in further detail how the VTEX plans can adjust better to your current needs. So either if you're a high volume, low margin, or if you are selling luxury goods, for instance, on the web, what are your actual pain points and how we can solve this? I would like to drive the conversation towards, it's not just the price and we forget about your business. And we signed a contract and then we never talk again. On the contrary, VTEX business model consists on having a very consultancy approach and being a solution for e-commerce. We compete, our competitive advantage in VTEX is e-commerce. And let me translate this to how significant this is. Anyone in VTEX, if it's the receptionist, HR, the accounting team, the sales team, the customer success team, everyone is an e-commerce expert. So we provide our customers constant e-commerce knowledge on how to do their e-commerce better. If it's a B2C, B2B marketplace, we are knowledgeable in e-commerce. We are very experts, and we have seen a lot of cases before on how to do better e-commerce. So our business translates in a way for you to be successful. We do not charge a license. We do not sell licenses. We do not just sell a package solution in which we do not track if you're successful or not. On the contrary, once we sign a contract, we're constantly evaluating you to make sure that you're using the best of our product, increasing the product adaptation. We make you sure that you're ready for these major events, like such as Black Friday, Double 11, Mother's Day, Father's Day, Christmas. We make sure you have your promotions ready, you've updated your catalog, you have your content ready. Everything is already set up so you can be as successful as possible during this time of year. This makes us stand out from other e-commerce solutions in which has no interest in seeing you successful. We come out from a region that has had political turmoil, social turmoil, now healthcare turmoil, and we see our consumers always succeeding, always growing their revenues because we're always there for them. We take care of them. We try to understand because there's no business that is the same. So yes, our pricing is public, but it's better that we have a very, very, very comprehensive understanding of what's your business, what are your needs, and how we customize our solution for you specifically. I'm sorry, that was a very long answer, but I think it's very important to highlight that we try to make a very tailor-made solution for each one of our customers, despite we are a global company, which is not very common.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you for that answer. That we appreciate it. What about a demo? Can they see a demo on your website or anything like that? And also
Yes.
the other question that we have is your presentation. So so for all the participants, please either write to Pablo or put your email in the chat box so we can send you a presentation. And one asked for a Russian one, so we'll try to translate into Russian. So the demo, sorry, go ahead.
Yes, the presentation, I'll make my slides from the panel discussion and the webinar available for you to have. You have my email, pablo@vtex.com. You can also find me through LinkedIn. And on the demos, we have a lot of information, free information in vtex.com, also in help.vtex.com. And you can see tutorials, videos, as well as in YouTube. You can find some demos from VTEX. Now, if you're looking for a specific demo, please reach out. We can schedule a call with your team as well and try to see what is the specific questions that you have about demo and help you out with your requirement.
Okay, thank you. Next one, what is the difference between your app and Shopify or other similar service providers?
How much time do we have? There is a substantial difference. And okay, what we do in VTEX is that we take care of allowing you to integrate with any of your systems. If it's a CRM, ERP, payment provider, most of the payment providers are already integrated. There is this word going on in the industry that's about composable commerce, headless commerce. Let's take the buzzword away, but essentially is you can use any of our connections, any of them, to connect with your existing software, existing in-house, on-premise, or other software by your software vendors. And it's easily integrated. You can easily integrate and connect, yes, with any POS, for instance, or any ERP in the market. The big difference is that we are built for omnichannel, and we enable our platform to be connected with any other system. Also, we always focus on the lowest TCO. So there are other platforms which are very good. Yes, they're very good. And they're very good for the small companies, entrepreneurs, not thinking yet on omnichannel, not thinking yet on integrating their systems with ERPs, SAPs, for instance, not thinking about expanding their business in the long term. So those platforms are good. But if you're thinking in the long term, you want the lowest TCO. What happens with free software, with free commerce platforms, is that you will start to need extensions, add-ons. And this is a high risk. One, probably you will need 25 to 30 different extensions, add-ons, that usually are not supported by the platform itself. And this enables, or this, it's a mortgage towards your future, because your future depends on these extensions to be available next year and the year following, and so on. If these entrepreneurs that develop the extensions stop supporting your extensions, your 25, 30, 40 different extensions that you use in these free software commerce platforms, you will have a security breach. People will hack your computer. People will hack your store. And because of security breaches, probably you might lose your business, lose your consumers, lose the trust, lose the loyalty. So what VTEX does is we do not use extensions. We do not have add-ons, but we enable our APIs that go through our security layers in AWS and our constant security team to be tracking any security breach. And we have protocols for these security breaches that prevents from any other third party with malicious intent to get to breach your data. Also, because we are giving you out-of-the-box solutions and constantly evolving them, we do not charge for these. We do not ask our customers to pay extra to have more additional capabilities or additional functionalities. This is part of our promise. This is part of our solution. We make sure that your e-commerce experience to your end consumer is the best one. And we constantly and this is true. In 1 year, we deploy around 12,000 to 14,000 updates. So every day we have new updates in the platform, and these are for free. We don't monetize, we don't charge. So VTEX business model is completely different from the example you mentioned. We take care of your lowest cost, and we take care of how easy it is to integrate itself with other systems and how secure the platform is by using the highest standard of security.
Thanks. Another one was what's kind of the benefits or what's better in your application? So you answered that one as well in this one.
It's important to highlight how easy it is to integrate. Most enterprise companies are looking for software that can easily integrate. And VTEX has multiple case studies, success cases, integrating with local-made ERPs, local-made CRMs, and enterprise level of ERPs and CRMs. You will not see this in other, as you mentioned before, these other platforms. They don't have this level of integration.
Next one is, please give examples of B2B and B2C marketplaces created using VTEX solutions.
That's a very good example. We have a large customer in Asia, Stanley Black & Decker. They are a B2B customer. So they have, B2B is a very passionate, and in particular, we can even have a separate webinar about B2B, because B2B businesses, they have their own rules. They have their own models. They use sales reps. They use call centers. They use private websites in which each enterprise customer logs in and finds their own specific prices, promotions, credit lines, etc., etc. So we have a very large customer in Asia and also in Americas, Stanley Black & Decker, and they have digitalized their B2B operations through VTEX. They enable both consumers, enterprises to log in. It's a private site. Usually B2Bs are usually closed, private, so you need a user and a password to log in and find specific tailor-made experiences for each consumer. And this is important because in the B2B, usually it's a company negotiating with the vendor prices. So you want different companies to see different prices and sometimes different part of your catalog as well. And if you also might want to engage with sales reps, because remember that in e-commerce now, we have a change of demographics as well. Decision makers, or the ones that are making the purchases, are millennials. So they're very used to online, yes? And sometimes they're not very familiar with the products and they wanna use some contact with a sales rep to have some source of information. But then you have those consumers that are already used to online, but they are also used to understand much better than your sales rep the information of your products. So you don't want them to be interacting with sales reps. So the benefit of having a B2B commerce site is that you can have specific experiences for each buyer persona, for each profile of your buyers. Those that want information, that do not want information, those that want to interact with the sales rep, those that want a very quick experience in which I just log in, upload my Excel sheet, see my shopping cart, just click buy, and I pay with my credit line. So that's what we can provide in VTEX. It's very tailor-made, thinking towards what is the business model of each consumer, and not VTEX having a very standardized solution on B2B.
Thanks. One more question from the participants, and then a last one from me, because we have about 5 minutes left. So the question from the participants is, do you have a success story in Central Asia? Which I don't think you do, and that's why we're here to show how you successfully conquered a whole bunch of other continents, Eastern Europe, et cetera, And my question is, what do you think organizations like ours, our project with USAID, can do for the region and for multinationals like you, and kind of expanding these best practices in the region? Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you. So on the success case, we have a couple customers in Eastern Europe. And we have to highlight the speed of enterprises. Minipri is a company in Romania. I'll share my screen so you can actually use this as an example and navigate after our conversation. Minipri is a company in Romania, and it's a fashion company. They sell a lot of garments for men and women. But what happened during COVID? Consumers were not buying fashion; they were buying food. And what Minipri did, thanks to VTEX technology, in just a couple of days, they enabled a category for home, and they enabled a mini mart. So now you can actually find food, CPG products in their fashion store. And this is thanks to VTEX technology. We enable different business models. So you can come to VTEX with a very crazy idea, and we will make it possible. And this is just one of the many examples that we can use to highlight how our customers come to our office, to our meetings. We are constantly talking to our customers, understanding their needs, understanding like, hey, okay, we have a fashion company, but due to these circumstances, we need to transform the business quick, fast. So let's make it a shopping mall, a mini mart, a grocery shop. And now Minipri is one of the success cases that we have in Eastern Europe that has adapted very, very easily in just a couple of days to this new reality. Now we are expanding our business. We are growing more and more. I'll be based in Singapore with an eye and working with you to expand the ecosystem. And this is a good segue for your second question, and is how we can collaborate. And it's about listening to your business models, listening to your innovations, to your ideas. We don't have to build an exact copy of Alibaba, of Amazon. What is it that's going on in the ground? What is the local flavor, the tropicalization? And we can make this work very easily to make sure that you are as successful as possible. It's about opening ecosystem. Yes, in VTEX, you can collaborate. You will see on our site, collaborative commerce. And it's because we want everyone collaborating, from retailers to logistics, to payment partners, to digital marketing, everyone involved, and everyone has a say on this. Everyone has knowledge. And what we do in VTEX is we try to aggregate all this knowledge for our customers to be able to have the best solution as possible.
Thank you, Pablo. Great presentation, great answering the questions. Thank you to the participants for staying up this late in our region. Early morning for you, Pablo, but yes, you have a long day coming. So thank you very much to everybody. Pablo, I'll talk to you soon. And thanks again. Thank you to the organizers and everybody participating. Thank you. Good night.
Thank you. Have a great day. Bye-bye.